Welcome to part 2 to family and relationships. I'm here with the missus.
What it do, y'all?
Miss Sutton, how you feeling?
Oh, you know what it is. It's relationships, it's family, it's lack thereof. It just kind of depends on how you want to categorize the situation.
All right, let's take it to the side piece. Can family work together in a religious setting?
The problem is with the words you use, religion.
Can you elaborate?
As I said on the previous episode, I'm not religious. So I don't believe that everything is supposed to be done at a specific date, on a specific time, on a specific Sunday, this specific way. I am a firm believer as a Christian that you are supposed to allow the Spirit to move how the Spirit is going to move. You don't quench the Spirit. The problem is when you add family into it, then what you're adding is headache, disruption,
Ooh.
and possibly disruption of growth for your spiritual side, because family has a tendency to view you carnally and not spiritually. So where God wants you to be, depending on what you did way back when Susie was a baby, will determine how you grow spiritually in that setting.
Okay. Well, Miss Sutton, do you feel that people that's in a position and their family abuse the position that they're in?
I think family tends to abuse a lot, and not just in church. I feel like family abuses loyalty. Family abuse commitment. I feel like family abuses honor. Because the saying goes, I'm your family. So it doesn't matter what they do to you, how bad they hurt you. You're just supposed to be okay with that because they're family.
Right.
My thing is, I'm not okay with anything that threatens to compromise my peace of mind. That can be family, friend, foe, anything that threatens to disrupt my peace of mind. Whatever your connection to me is, I have to remove it.
I've always told you, and I'm saying it live here, you are better at coof than I am. You have coof, I do not. Which brings up my next question. Why do individuals try to bridge spirituality or religion and family?
Because the Bible is based off of family. If you go back to the very beginning, God created generations. Even with animals, He made birds. They're their own family.
Yeah.
They're their own generation. And every animal has the capability to do what we do as humans, which is to reproduce, which keeps the lineage going. So, what does that mean? Church is supposed to be about family. It's supposed to be about God being our Father, and us as Christians, or whatever your religious belief may be, that is supposed to be your family, your brothers, your sisters. Your shepherds are considered to be your parents. whether that's Muhammad, Boo-hoo, Baba, whatever. That's supposed to be your parents. And like it is in a normal family setting, there is a order to everything. Therefore, you're not supposed to go against the hierarchy. So, you have to remember that. You don't go against the hierarchy. The same way you tell your children, I've been where you're trying to go. So, you are to listen to me because I know what's going to happen if you do this, that, and the third. It's the same thing in a Christian setting. Everyone is on different levels. So you want to look at the person who is in a hierarchy to show you how they got over, what they got over, and how you can achieve the same thing. What becomes the problem is, as I said in the previous episode, just because you are in a certain position does not mean you know how to lead.
Mm-hmm.
And when you allow relationships to interfere with how you lead, then you've created more than one problem.
Which brings me to my next question. Spiritual hurt. What if my family hurts me and they're leaders of a religious setting in and out of the religious setting? They hurt me in a religious setting and they hurt me at home. How do I get away from that?
The problem...
And how do I heal? I'm sorry.
The problem is the expectation that people won't hurt you. That was never said. Jesus was hurt. He was convicted for a crime he never committed. Never said that people won't hurt you, no matter what position and or title they hold in your life. Which is why the Bible clearly says that we are to forgive, because he knew it was going to be some hurt. The problem is, what are you going to do with that hurt? Because a person can hurt you and move on with their life. You're the one carrying that hurt. You're the one allowing someone to rent space in your head for free. You're the one having sleepless nights. They're sleeping just fine. This is why you have to separate the entities. That a good example of that would be, there has been several times that you have royally pissed me off before I went to work. But when I go to work, they don't know that. My bosses don't know that. My coworkers don't know that. Because they're two separate entities. You don't bring one thing into something else. You don't take out your hurt on people who it don't have nothing to do with. You don't take your pain out on people who it don't have anything to do with. You call it having kuf. I call it respecting people. Because what do I look like attacking you because Susie John made me mad? That's not how that goes. I hate that preconceived notion that everyone has to pay for one person's actions. The best revenge is to forgive you and move on. It's to take that hurt that you thought you was going to plant in me and give it back to you. And the way I do that is to succeed. Take your hurt and succeed.
That was powerful right there. Next question. How do you separate the two?
By not allowing your loyalty to have you in places God ain't called you to. Simply put, family will keep you down if you let them. And then we have to remember, family is not necessarily defined by a blood tie. Family, real talk, is who you make family. I got 101 aunties and everything else that are not blood related to me. But because of the relationship that we formed, you're family. So we have to stop looking at family as a one-dimensional word.
Yeah.
Because it's not. Family is defined by several different factors.
Elaborate for me, please.
Who you are in my life, where you are in my life, and the commitment you have to my life. If I can't count on you, then you're not family.
Falsified expectations.
If I can't confide in you, you're not family. And if you would rather kick me while I'm down than help me up, you not my family. If your needs come before mine, you're not my family. If you would put me in a compromising predicament and allow me to have to sit in it, you're not my family. That is the definition of trying to have control or trying to live through me. There are many family members who are harder on their children out of this, I want to see you do better than me, not realizing that you're tearing your child down. You can have all the good intentions in the world, but if I can't even come to you and say I'm hurt without you telling me to get over it, yeah, that doesn't work. Or you don't believe me when I tell you something's wrong with me. Or you take it to the pulpit and you preach a whole sermon about it in your sermon. Never understood that. Now, with certain analogies, I completely understand. My adoptive mother is a pastor. And boy, is she anointed. But I never forget when she was a minister before she ascended to pastor. And she preached a sermon. And she put in the sermon about how I was running around talking about I can't do this and I can't do that. And she said, and I told her, don't tell me what you can't do, because you don't even know what you're capable of.
That's powerful.
I wasn't offended because that was uplifting. That was taking what God gave you as a teachable moment and using it to teach someone else. The flip side of that, you got pastors who get up there and put their whole child's sexual life on the pulpit.
I'm done.
You do, because they the children parents, and they feel like they could just speak on whatever because they're their children. This is why PK kids are the worst kids out here.
Yeah.
Seriously, PK kids are the worst. You can tell by a child's actions if they a PK kid. I know a PK kid now. And out of all of us that was growing up as teenagers, woo, was she the worst. But you couldn't tell the pastors that. In the pastor's mind, we was all a bad example on her. Don't know how they figured that, but that's what it was. But PK kids are the worst. And a lot of it has to do is because there is no balance between being a pastor and being a parent.
Why do they try to mix the two?
Because the Bible tells you that you are to train a child and that the Bible teaches you how to parent. But the Bible does not tell you that you are not supposed to be human. That's what we miss. We expect because we done changed our life.
Excuse me.
That our children are going to be born on the right side of everything. Newsflash. Where is that?
Yeah.
So because you changed your life and you saved and you think having your children automatically makes them saved. I haven't read that. So when they do stuff, the first thing you want to say is, well, God will be disappointed. Well, because we've made conversations taboo. Oh my gosh, having sex outside of marriage is a sin. And so your resolve is not to teach them about sex at all? Because it's a sin. So you feel like if you don't teach it, it ain't gonna happen.
How do you separate family? The ones, because I hear this word blood kin thrown around a lot. How do you separate family from the ones that you was born with from the ones that are true?
Remember, the Bible tells you to come from your family. He tells you to come from amongst them. As a matter of fact, it was Jesus who, when Mary and I think it was his brother came to him, I think at the temple, and when they came to tell him that his mother and his brother was there, he said, "Who is my mother? Who is my brother?" Not because he was disowning them, but because you have to realize once you get to a certain point, certain things become your choice.
How do you deal with toxic family members?
You don't.
Can you elaborate?
Simply put, why am I going to try to change what somebody chooses to be? It's not my job to change you. It's my job to play with you. I'm going to pray for you. But it's not my job to change you. It's my job to understand that I can still love you from a distance.
That's good.
But I don't have to let you in my space because you family. And I can still be just as cordial and just as nice when I have to be around you. I don't have to be ignorant. Why do I have to stoop to your level?
Exactly. Now, as far as because I brought this toxic point up for a reason. We recently went through some things. Forget this. We've been dealing with some things for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Largely due to the fact that I have a lot of special ed people that unfortunately I am connected to.
Facts.
Now, here comes the bombshell. Because I asked Superman on the last episode, and I'm going to bring that question back up. Why do people feel that they can secondly live their second chance through their children's relationship?
Because you allow it.
Elaborate.
Nobody can latch on to you that you don't allow. Remember, every emotion you give attracts something. So, anger attracts anger. Hurt attracts hurt. Dependency attracts dependency. Why do you think if you a drug addict, you're going to attract other drug addicts? Because you attract what you are. So people only do to you what you allow. So if you allow your family to become codependent on you, that's what they gonna be. If you allow people to talk to you any old kind of way, that's what they gonna do. If you give up all your money like a nutball, that's what the people are gonna constantly expect. Stop giving out stuff that you can't afford to lose. And that's not just monetary value. That's yourself. Quit giving yourself out for free. And then expecting somebody to put a value on it. That's not how that works. You give and you give and you give and you give, and then the first thing you want to say is, well, now I'm empty. Duh. Of course you're empty. Of course you on the verge of a psychotic break. Because you're trying to be everything to everybody and nothing to yourself.
Say that again.
You can't be everything to everybody and nothing for you. So you can't fault other people for how they treat you. You gotta fault yourself for how they treat you. At least past a certain point. Because once you become of age, then it's about what you accept. When you're a child, unfortunately, that doesn't start playing a part until you can start taking care of yourself. But once you are accountable for you, then you are responsible for how people treat you. In this world, coward cannot be a part of your vocabulary.
Ooh, that's good.
But in the same token, a part of respect is learning when to walk away. Because you have to understand that, again, you attract what you are. So if a person knows how to rile you up, that's what they're going to do. If somebody knows that calling you a bald-headed heifer is going to piss you off, don't get mad that people calling you bald-headed heifers. You want people to change? Change you.
What would you say to the young person that's listening to this right now, saying, I have no hope? My family talk about me because I had a child or children and I'm not married.
Well, I gotta kick in the old school sayings. There are a multitude of people that like to throw mud, but don't like to get dirty. Yeah, people judge folks for all kinds of different stuff nowadays. The way you walk, the way you speak, the way you dress. If you can sing, if you can't sing, people judge you for everything. Especially now with this broad platform out here we have called social media.
Oh my Lord.
It's very easy for people to dissect and critique.
I'm so sick of social media. we ain't even had social media when we was kids.
Nope.
We had pay phones.
That you only use for street transactions, for real, for real. But the thing is, when it all comes down to it, if you don't know how to protect your peace, you can't expect somebody else to.
For the people in the back.
So what would I tell a younger person? Find yourself. Because, and that is the problem. People getting tied to people because they don't know who they are.
Yes.
And that's everything. You get caught up with people because you get caught up with the image people want you to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know who you are. It's so easy for Christianity. It's so easy for work. It's so easy for anybody to take you and mold you
Into what they want.
into what they want
Or need.
because you don't have a backbone. You, learn to be by yourself.
Yep.
Learn who you are.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you can learn who you are, and as soon as you learn how to be by yourself in who you are, then you will learn who you need to be connected to and who you don't need to be connected to. Because your connections will start being based off of what's in you, not what you can do for somebody else. Because soul ties is not just laying down with somebody you not married to. Soul ties is people who are drawn to you because of what's in you.
Yep.
So you can't get mad if you trying to figure out why somebody trying to mold you to be Billy and Sally and that's not who you are. But how do you know that if you don't even know who you are? I tell my husband all the time, learn you. So that nobody else can tell you who you are.
Next question. How do you feel that relationships, because we're still talking about them.
Oh yeah, all of it is relationship.
Do you think work relationships are a good or bad thing?
That depends on what you define as a work relationship.
Well, you know, they got this new thing running around now, calling each other's work husband and work wives.
I think people created that because they were seeking for something they're not getting at home. But I ain't saying that out loud. I think it's crap. I do believe that you should flourish excellent work relationships. Because you never know when you gonna need,
Right.
or when you gonna have to work together.
I ain't saying, having sex with them in the copy room or in back there by the dumpster.
Okay, now you doing too much. But
I'm not lying.
But the whole thing in a nutshell is this. No matter what the relationship is, whether it's work, whether it's home, whether it's church, you cannot successfully have a relationship with someone else until you learn to successfully have a relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
And therefore, as we are talking about, can family divide? Can family do this? Again, people can only do what you allow them to do. But if you're in a relationship, the only way that somebody, family, friend, foe, can come in and divide it in the first place is if you don't know who you with. Because you ain't taking the opportunity to get to know who you with. And that can solely be on the fact that they don't even know who they are.
So basically like an identity crisis.
Man, it's strong.
Okay.
An identity crisis comes at a very pivotal point for people.
And it doesn't matter what age you are.
Because I will be frank with you. I am the baby.
Yes, Lord.
Out
On
of-
all sides of the family.
I'm the baby.
Spoiled rotten.
But that I'm not. But this is what I will say. For all my siblings fall on totally different sides of the coin.
You ain't lying.
I have my oldest sibling who is more quiet, more poised, more ambitious, more driven, and in a lot of ways more accomplished because she is more mentally stable and secure. I have my next oldest sibling who believes in keeping employment. Very, very, very good at maintaining and doing what needs to be done. My next oldest brother is a beast.
Yeah.
Stability has never been a problem. But stability has never been a problem. But I also have another sibling who
Okay. Yeah. That part right there.
yeah. And no, it's nothing bad. Let me say that. And no, they are not a horrible individual. What it is you can see that something is missing within inside of them.
I like the way you put that.
And because something is missing or they are longing for something, it comes out in a vast amount of ways. And with that being said, that's why I stated that it is important that you know who you are so that other people can't mold you into what you want to be. So, and then unfortunately I have another sibling that is deceased. But with all of them, there is a significant age gap between me and them. And as a result, by the time I was coming up, they were all either entering adulthood, in adulthood, or about to enter adulthood. So as I was coming along, my identity crisis became trying to figure out how I was going to be 5-6 different people. And I didn't understand that I can't be 5 or 6 different people. I knew I wanted to be successful, but I didn't know how. I wanted to take that attribute from that sibling and that attribute from that sibling and this one from that one and this one from that one. And I spent years running myself crazy trying to be like about 100 different people. Until I finally realized that I'm good being me. We're all different. We're all unique. And that's what makes us us.
Next question. The relationship that you have with some odd family members,
On which side?
on one in specifically I'm speaking of,
Okay.
do you think that they should have took more time to have a relationship with you?
I would have liked that. But in the same token, I no longer care. And that's because I've gotten to a place to where now that I understand me, I'm comfortable with me. And that's whoever accepts it, whoever doesn't, whoever likes it, whoever doesn't. I honestly could care less.
How have you dealt with family hurt?
I went to therapy. Because for the longest, I couldn't understand why I just had certain family members that just could not understand me. Or would not accept me, or their love was conditional. Or contractional. And I had to learn that as I got older, I began to understand that some of that was my fault. Because when you spend time trying to please people, that's all they know. So when you become the yes ma'am, and everything is yes, 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 no matter what you have to personally sacrifice, or no matter how far you gotta go to get it done, that's always going to be what it is. That means that there was never a real relationship founded on who you guys are as individuals. It was founded on a contractional situation. What can you do for me?
How do you feel about that? Contractual.
I think every relationship has its contractional clause. I think that it depends on how you define that. Because when I say every relationship has... excuse me, guys. Every relationship has their contractional clause. Let me ask you this. Would you be married to me if I could do absolutely nothing for you? No. And I don't mean monetary value. I mean, if I couldn't do jack, I couldn't drive, I couldn't clean, I couldn't cook, I even refuse soap and water, I couldn't take care of myself, period. And I literally depended on you for everything. Would you be married to me?
That wouldn't be a relationship. That would be a job.
Exactly.
And I will be looking to be getting paid.
Exactly. So, therefore, when we came to the terms of this marriage, we understood that we were going into a contract. This contract stated that I was going to love you, honor you, cherish you, be loyal to you, faithful to you, committed to you, that no matter what the situation was, in sickness and in health, until the end of time, in which God causes us to separate, that my service and my duty would be unto you and our children and our children's children. That was our contractual agreement, because if there was no contract in place, I never would have been able to change my name. On the flip side of that, I was willing to enter the contract because of how I love you, how I trust you, how I respect you, how you've shown me something that no other individual could even hold a candle to you. Therefore, when we went down to the justice of peace and we had to raise our right hand and swear to take that oath, and we signed them papers and we paid for that license,
Yeah, a whole lot of money.
we went into a contractual agreement. So every relationship has a contract.
I don't think people understand that.
But here's the thing. Our contract ain't based on you woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, so I'm going to sleep with somebody else. There is a difference between honoring the commitment and going into or having a contractual agreement because you feel that it's beneficial for you. I didn't come in this because I wanted to know what was beneficial for me. I came into it because I wanted to know how my experience could benefit you.
Okay, one of the questions we get asked a lot is, how do you deal with overbearing family members that's trying to impose themselves onto your relationship?
Well, I admit I handled it wrong because I came out like an attack dog.
That's an understatement.
But
More like a ferocious lion.
But I understood why I did it was because I was trying to protect something that wasn't in my place to protect. The truth of the matter is, the door was opened when we let them in. The door was opened when we chose to not do what we wanted to do to please other people. So because we opened the door, we had to deal with the consequences of opening that door. That was our fault. A lot of situations has been our fault. No matter what type of family they are. Again, I state, loyalty will have you in places God ain't called you to. So can family destroy your relationship? No. But you can. By signing an agreement with another person that you don't trust in the first place.
You don't feel that family can destroy relationships?
No.
You have to tell me why. Because there has been...
How does family destroy something that they have no hand in?
Why, I agree with you.
No, you asked me a question.
Okay.
And I'm answering. How can they destroy something they don't have a hand in? How family get involved in relationships because the people who are in the relationship let them in. Then you don't set boundaries when you let them in. And then you get mad when they have an opinion. But you let them in. You run to them every time it's a problem. Looking for their counsel. Looking for their therapy. And then get mad when they got an opinion on your situation. Or you get mad when you done forgave the situation, but now they done came to your house and they done brought up this situation because they need to tell you what they think about it. But you opened the door. No, family doesn't destroy relationships. Not having boundaries in your relationships is what destroys it. Because I'm sorry, I don't tell my family everything. And I'm very selective on who I speak to.
Yeah, I recently stopped doing that because
Yeah,
I saw
that was causing a lot of problems.
that caused so many doggone problems. Like Lucifer was sitting up in the house playing checkers.
Exactly. Because you will find you forgive, but family don't.
Whew.
And then you trying to figure out why your significant other then chose to walk away because they're choosing their peace. Because I'm sorry, you and your mama and your brother and your sister ain't about to be in my house attacking me. That's not how that go. The only commitment I made to your family is that I would take care of you. And that they could trust me with you and they can let go and let us start a new chapter. That's all I owe to your family. But you got some people who want to bridge everybody together. And not being able to let go is what got a lot of marriages on divorce court. Hollering mama's boy, daddy's girl. Because every time y'all get in an argument, you hopping on the phone calling mommy and daddy. Then you putting daddy's life in jeopardy because he loves his daughter so much, he coming over there with a gun. And check this out. They only getting half the story. Because they only hearing your side of the story. So you causing problems in your house for half truth. And then when y'all end up breaking up or getting a divorce, now you want to be mad at your family. No, you did that. Because if you just would have shut up, grew up, and dealt with your stuff yourself, wouldn't have been a problem. A person don't know what's going on inside your house unless you tell them.
Preach to the choir.
So can family do it? No. They can't. Again, people only do what you allow. So if you comfortable with having a circus in your house, go on ahead. But I'm a firm believer of, on that aspect, what goes on in my house stays in my house. That means if my husband and I having a disagreement, that's in our house. We can disagree all day long, but I bet you that outside world ain't gonna know that. And when we got to deal with the outside world, we always gonna band as one. That's the problem. The problem is, you want to talk about religion. You want to talk about religion. You want to talk about Christianity. But here's the God's honest truth. Stop running around here trying to be accepted by folks. Because trying to be accepted by people is what have you using your God-given talents in vain. Trying to be accepted by folks will have you blurring the lines between Christianity and commitment.
Mm-hmm.
So no, nobody can destroy nothing unless you allow them. Yes, there are thin lines between church hurt, commitments, but when it all comes down to it, if you don't stand for something,
You'll fall for anything.
you'll fall for anything. So people can't hurt you unless, one, they know how to hurt you. And a person don't know how to hurt you if you stop walking around here revealing so much of yourself out of acceptance. Because mommy didn't give it to you. And daddy didn't give it to you. So now you're an adult in a child mind frame crying out for attention. And now you want anybody's attention. Just for the sake of validation. And then when it costs you your time, when it costs you your talent, and when it costs you your relationship, then you right back at square one with the same folks that hurt you. Because where else you going? Learn how to protect you. Learn you. Quit getting involved in relationships just to say you got somebody. And learn how to fall in love.
But my
with
family
you.
picked this person out for me.
Yeah, no, we don't live in that decade no more.
It still happens today.
I didn't say it don't, but I'm just saying, yeah, no, we don't live in that decade no more. Believe me, I had a family member try to pick somebody for me. The Negro ate bugs.
I'm done.
Bugs. Bugs. And would literally walk around talking about heap. Yeah, that's somebody a family member picked for me. You are out your mind.
You don't think you and the bug man would have been fine?
Man, please. The next individual.
I'm just in bug with you.
You so stupid. The next individual messed around and had 2 kids a month apart by 2 different women.
Huh?
Nah, didn't want that set up either, bro.
We'll talk about that off air. How do you... Never mind.
Sleeping with 2 women at the same time? What do you mean, how?
A baby's a month apart?
Yeah.
I heard of the same time, but a month apart is pretty special.
Yeah, them babies are gonna be really close, ain't they? Well, they are. Them kids like 10, 11, probably older now.
I'm doing.
But yeah. So no, family can't set no, honey. Family can't set me up with nothing. Hallelujah, God made the choice for me. Hallelujah, almost 4 years of marriage, cause baby, no.
I had a family member try to set me up with someone.
Yeah, I remember. Say family member. Oh yeah, that's a good one. When family member tried to plant seeds. I'm still laughing about that $5,000 ring you gave the chick.
Man, please. You realize if anybody in my... Listen, I'm cheap as I am, that $5,000 would have been right in my pocket. Like, listen, we go to the dollar store. You get one of these dollar store ones and we...
You ain't lying.
Yeah.
But...
I
mean, I'm just saying, like, no. Family, no. You can't pick no. Because, and here's the crazy part. For those who actually think that they family know best, 9 times out of 10, your family don't even know you. So how they gonna pick somebody for you? I'm gonna let you sit with that one.
And on that note, that was Mrs. Sutton. I'm Seti Said. This is Family and Relationships Part 2.